After school, once my final practice interview had concluded, I reunited with my friends and engaged in the usual regimen of gossip and small
っ
talk.
てことがあってね。かわいい。何よそれ。
When I described the events of that morning, everyone's eyebrows rose. They were hanging on my every word and yelping in unison at key
ゆ
moments.
い、今日は家でおとなしくしておけばよかったんじゃない？
Low key, I don't know, bro. You're telling me I don't know. See, there's two sides to this, bro. Obviously, like, there's the skeptical side, bro. You're just like, what the fuck is this granny? How the fuck does this granny know my name, bro? What is she on about, bro? What is this about? Why does she have my like this little sheet of paper? Like, what is she here for? But then the other part of me is, okay, it's so out of the norm. It's kind of something you want to believe, right? Something you wouldn't want to completely ignore. I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know what I would have done in that situation.
だって今日は面接の最後の練習があるからどうしても来たかったし。何か起きないといいけど。やだ、やめてよ。何も起きないって。思い出した。え？天神症って言葉がちょっと引っかかってたんだけどさ、七不思議に出てくるんだよね、天神症。
The Seven Wonders? You mean like of the world? Don't tell me Heavenly Host was supposed to be one of them, bro. Hold on.
七不思議ってうちの学校に伝わる如月学園七不思議のこと？
Oh.
そうそう。天神症って何？
Wait a second, did I forget this? Did they build Kisaragi on the old Heavenly Host? That's the connection I'm missing here, bro? Wait.
放課後のよしえさんって言うんだけど、聞いたことない？知らない。私も知らないよ。どんな話なの？如月学園が建てられる前にこの場所にあった天神小学校での話なんだけどさ。
Yeah. Oh my god, if I would have remembered that. Wait.
その天神小学校で放課後校舎の見回りをしていた女の先生が誤って階段から落ちて死んだんだって。その日は10月のちょうど今日みたいに雨が降る放課後で、時刻はそう夜の7時を過ぎたあたり。こういう日はよしえさんが出るんだって。天神小学校がなくなってしまったことに気づいていないよしえさんは如月学園の廊下を見回って歩いているんだよ。やだ、それ本当？まあ実際見たことがある人がいるから七不思議になってるんじゃない？怖。ゆい、今日はもう帰ったら？そのおばあさんの言ってたことちょっと気になるし。いやだね。お年寄りの忠告は聞いておくもんだよ。
Is it just me or this person started speaking louder? But damn.
そうだね。なんかゾワゾワしてきちゃったし、もう帰ろうかな。それじゃあ先に帰るね。バイバイ。
おい。
実は怖いことがあって。
怖いこと？
私の様子があまりにおかしかったのか、司くんは心なしか表情をこわばらせて私を見つめた。真剣に話を聞いてくれようとしているのが分かって、私はちょっと嬉しくなる。今抱えている恐怖をできることなら司くんと共有したかった。だから私は今朝会ったこととカンナから聞いた怪談話を司くんに話した。だけど司くんは。
はあ、七不思議ね。
うん。
七不思議を信じるなんて夢があっていいな。
え？
ん？
司くんは怖くないの？
怖いっていうか妙だとは思うけどな。でもその謎のばあちゃんと七不思議なんて単なる偶然だろう。気にしすぎだって。
Dude, it seems like a little too much of a coincidence though, don't you think?
でも
あんま深く考えない方がいいんじゃね？
That is true though.
そのばあちゃんは確かに気味悪いけどさ、ちょっと変わった人だっただけだろ。
そういうんじゃなくて。
え？
解決方法を教えてほしかったわけじゃないよ。
Whoa.
私は話を聞いてほしかっただけなの。
話なら聞いたじゃんか。
だからそうじゃなくて。
はあ、わかんねえよ。なんか怒ってんのか？
それが怪談話で増幅されてじわじわと私の気持ちを暗くした。あんなに怖い思いをしたんだからっていう甘えや八つ当たりの気持ちもあったんだと思う。私と司くんはこの時初めて気まずい雰囲気になった。それじゃ私こっちだから。
ああ。獅子堂。
He called out my name as I briskly walked away. I didn't really know why I was so angry or confused, but I did notice that his voice was tinged with concern.
なんかあったら連絡しろよ。
Tinged or tinged? Tingle? Yeah, his spidey senses were tingling? I considered turning back for a second, but changed my mind and pushed forward in a huff, leaving him behind. Damn!
ただいま。
I mean, I guess, bro.
ゆい、おかえり。
That doesn't sound good.
うん。
Greeting me at the door, my mother wore a somber expression. I could tell right away that something had happened. I stared at her with scrunched eyebrows for an awkwardly long time before she eventually, reluctantly, opened her mouth to speak.
今朝のおばあさんね。うん。
She passed away, huh?
さっき亡くなったって病院から連絡があったわ。
Bro, what?
嘘。残念なことだけど。
Do you think because Yui went to Host Peak, not Host Peak, what the fuck, to Heavenly Host or to Kisaragi, that she passed away? You think it's related?
あなたは明日の推薦入試のことだけ考えていなさい。
Well, if that's the case, why did you tell her now, bro? You should have waited till, like, you know, after the exam.
それじゃあのおばあさんの話はこれで終わり。さあ、ご飯にするから着替えておいで。わかった。それじゃあ私部屋にいるから。
That's insane, though.
ええ。お母さんがキッチンへと引っ込んでいくのを見届けて、私はもぞもぞと靴を脱いだ。司くんにあんな態度をとってしまっただけでも嫌な気分だったのに、あのおばあちゃんが亡くなってしまっただなんて。
Returning to my room, I couldn't muster the energy to do anything but collapse onto my chair and sprawl out on the desk. The last thing the old woman had said to me echoed again and again in my mind. I began wishing I'd taken her more seriously. I should have accepted the paper doll and thanked her. I should have reassured her I wouldn't go to Heavenly Host Elementary. I mean, the place didn't even exist anymore, for goodness sakes. I was exhausted. It was a hell of a day, and I no longer even had the energy to move. I needed to change out of my school clothes, but still sprawled out over the desk, my eyelids drooped and closed. I was out. I awoke with a start. The air in my room had gone notably cooler, and I was shivering. Low-key, that's a chill-ass room, bro. Fucks with it. Rubbing my eyes, I glanced at my clock. The needles indicated it was 6:45.
もうこんな時間だ。明日の用意しておかなくっちゃ。
There was still a little time before dinner. My mind swimming, I decided I'd take this opportunity to clean out all the notes and textbooks I wouldn't need tomorrow for my bag.
残しておくものは学生証でしょ。 それからハンカチとティッシュ。
Nah, she's gonna find that paper doll in her thing, watch.
受験票も忘れずに入れて、それからペンケース。あれ？
Oh.
嘘！ペンケースがない！
Oh.
学校に忘れてきちゃった。さーっと血の気が引いた。別に筆記用具で困ったわけじゃない。家にはいくらでも代わりがある。だけどあの中には司くんから借りた受験必勝鉛筆が入っているのだ。取ってこなくちゃ。お母さん、私ちょっと学校に忘れ物取りに行ってくる。
え？もうすぐご飯できるわよ。
すぐ戻るから。
そう。雨も降っているし、気をつけていくのよ。
I folded up my soaked umbrella and left it on the rack at the entrance, then changed into my indoor shoes. My thing is just like, what school is open past a certain hour, bruh? Then, entering the brightly lit hall, I took another look around.
やっぱり生徒は誰も残ってないみたい。
My deep sigh echoed through the deathly silent corridor.
とにかくパッと教室に行ってペンケース取ってこなくちゃ。
No ghosts should show up in a well-lit building like this, right? You already know, when they say some stupid shit like this, bro, the lights are finna go out, bro. And even if they did, they wouldn't be very scary under all these bright lights.
あのペンケースに入ってる鉛筆は明日の試験にどうしても必要なの。だってあれは司くんがくれたお守りなんだもの。
Picked up the pace as I continued to head straight for room 3-4. So you just like to go from right to left? Is that your
柔道部の
thing?
方はもう真っ暗だな。やっぱり誰もいないのね。
Bro swears my head is a fucking add-on, bro. Bro's treating me like an electron, bro. Like, oh, bro wants to be an electron so damn badly, bro. You know how it went from freaking left to right. I mean, from right to left, dude. I didn't need that. I could feel it going behind my head, bro. I'm telling you, bro, the sound effects in this game, bro, they fucking... Well, I mean, the voices. What they've done with the voices is actually pretty cool. But still, like, man, I don't need somebody moaning. Well, I mean, I don't have the ability to do it. But like, I don't need somebody moaning from right to left.
それにしても今日はいつもよりこの廊下が長い感じがする。ただでさえこの廊下で遅刻しそうになるくらいなのに。
I continued my brisk walk down the impossibly long hallway toward my goal, jumping every now and then whenever another thunderclap sounded. Kisaragi Academy was was comprised of both a middle school and a high school, and this evening, it really felt like it was flaunting its massive size. Didn't help that my classroom was in the high school wing, which happened to be past the middle school, making it seem that much farther
いつ
away.
もは賑やかな場所がこんなにも静まり返っていると余計に物寂しい気がするな。雨の音がやけに大きく聞こえるよ。
I was focusing on the scant few sounds around me as I paced down that long, lonely corridor. Then, all of a sudden, there's like a fart that just echoes throughout the hallway. Just... I'm trying to listen. I guess nothing. I could have sworn I heard something at the beginning. I heard a faint noise, as of someone playing an organ.
今の空耳だよね。そうに決まってるよ。
You know what's funny is like I'm leaning into my monitor thinking like it's like that's gonna make me like listen more.
こんな時間に音楽室で楽器を鳴らす人なんているわけないし。
Finally reaching that familiar door, I swiftly opened it and flicked on the lights.
やっとたどり着いた。あとはペンケースを忘れないようにしなくちゃ。
Bro, my thing is just like, couldn't you have just came back for this shit tomorrow? Thanks to all my unexpected pauses to freak out over thunder and lightning, it took me far longer than it should have to get here. It was already well past 7. Oh, you're clapped.
7時か。
I wonder how she gets clapped though. Because she survives this shit, right? we see her in the future, right? It's the appointed time when the ghost of a teacher was supposed to appear, at least according to the school legend.
何もないじゃない。
I let out a sigh of relief and relaxed my shoulders a bit. Whenever I don't know why that reminds me of take a deep, what is it? Relax your anus, like what they say at that one concert. The lights were both inside the classroom and out in the hallway. Sure, it was still dead silent, but the fear I had been feeling had completely melted away.
全然怖くないよ。やっぱり七不思議だなんて嘘だったんだな。
I grabbed the pen case I had come back for and shoved it into my pocket.
よし、これで任務完了だね。
With my long ordeal behind me, more or less, I looked around the classroom and let out another sigh. Damn, bitch, we get it, bro. We don't need your hot-ass breath, like, contaminating the room. I'd only ever known this classroom when it was bustling with activity, and thus found its eerie silence and utter stillness to be oddly fascinating.
教室に私一人ってなんだか不思議な感じがするな。
I got the idea in my head to try doing something I normally wouldn't be able to, like standing at the teacher's podium and writing on the blackboard. Corny ass, bro. Who does this, bro? If you don't get your stupid ass out of
シ
there,
チュエーションめったにないし。
bro, like for real, like get out. To me, the area behind that podium from which teachers conduct their lessons was like a sacred space. I dreamed of standing there myself one day, and could hardly resist its pull when presented with a rare opportunity like this.
今なら誰も見てないし。
Well, no one's there to look, bruh. To my classmates, this would seem like such a silly, stupid dilemma, but that didn't change the way I felt at that moment.
どうしようかな。
Bruh, I think you should do option C, get the fuck out of there. Oh. You know what, bro? I'm gonna stick to my gut, bro. Get the fuck out.
ここは遊んでないでとっとと学校出るべきだよね。
I decided it would be best to put my yearnings aside and leave the classroom behind.
七不思議だなんてやっぱり迷信じゃない。
I couldn't believe I'd gotten all indignant with Tsukasa over something so trivial. Thinking about it now, it seemed kind of ridiculous.
さてと、家に帰ろうかな。今日は明日に備えて早く寝なくちゃ。
With this in mind, I walked towards the classroom door and took one step out into the hall. When suddenly...
Eh?
What are we about to see? No way I just killed her, bro. There's no way... Bro, I was just following my instincts. The door was slid shut on its own with incredible force and my neck was trapped in the narrow opening that remained. Damn! The first choice the game gives me and I killed her. See, I'm glad the quick save feature exists because that shit saved my ass from having to come back all the way from fucking back there, bro. Like, and by back there, I mean like from the instance that Miss Yui had her bazungas on top of fucking Satoshi, bro. I'm talking about, bro, that was literally an hour ago, an hour and like 15 minutes ago, bro. That's insane, bro. Either way, let's go ahead and choose the stand at the teacher's podium option.
よし、少しだけ先生の気分を味わっちゃえ。
That's insane to me, bro. I literally killed her, bro. Off the rip, bro. Like, literally off the first choice. I decided I had to try it. During daily cleanup and such, I'd come and gone from this spot countless times. But this was the first time I'd ever had an opportunity to just stand here and preside over the classroom.
そうか。先生からはこんな風に見えるんだ。教室って。なんかちょっとドキドキする。
Gaining a teacher's point of view, in the most literal sense, was starting to get me really fired up. It may seem silly now, but this was my stage. This was where all my dreams would play out.
私もいつか。
I began to imagine the future that awaited me, painstakingly detailing some new piece of knowledge for students sitting attentively at their desks, gliding chalk across the board, filling it out with information to aid them in their
い
studies.
つか先生になれるといいな。
I was getting so excited that I even began to think my behavior was a little strange. Maybe it was a juxtaposition of these joyous, freeing visions and the prickling dread I had been feeling up until just a minute or two before. But then, in the blink of an eye, one of these two conflicting emotions completely overpowered the other. Suddenly, my surroundings were bathed in darkness. Going stiff with shock, I stumbled back a step. My back struck the blackboard with a dull thud. Oh my god. I instinctively grabbed hold of the rail where the eraser sat. I felt chalk dust against my fingertips. My panicked heartbeat was making it difficult to breathe. Was this caused by the thunderstorm? If so, it sure picked a fine time to turn the lights out on me. Girl, are we not listening to the same thing, bro? Okay, so we are. Does an organ need electricity? Cause there's pianos that are I was about to say a wireless that are like powerless, you know, like you don't need electricity to run a piano. Well, the classic ones, right? The electric ones obviously need one, but okay. Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? That's impossible. She was no fortune teller or psychic, as far as I was aware. How could she possibly have known this would happen? Hell, even if she were a fortune teller or psychic, predicting the future is the stuff of science fiction. I shook my head.
落ち着くのよ、私。音楽室の方はまだ停電になってないとか、きっとそんな理由だよ。いけない。机の中身まき散らしちゃったよ。元に戻さなくちゃ。
Still fumbling around blindly, I gathered up all the scattered notes, textbooks, and writing utensils.
でも、暗くて何がなんだか。もう何やってるのよ、急いでるのに。本当にドジなんだから。
I let out a sigh. I seem to be doing that a lot lately.
これは教科書とノートでしょ?
I was trying to take inventory of all the things I'd knocked out of the desk, then realized, why? I might as well just stand it up and stuff it all back in.
さすがに全部を間違いなく元に戻すのは無理だな。明日ここの席の子に謝らなくちゃ。
What on earth did I just touch? There was a flash of lightning almost immediately joined by a roaring thunderclap, and with it, for a split second, the pitch black classroom was lit up bright as day. I shot to my feet, utterly mortified. In that split second, I'd gotten a very good look at my fingertips, and it really did seem as if they were covered in blood. But it wasn't just my hand. No. If my peripheral vision were to be trusted, it looked like the entire classroom was stained a deep, dark crimson.
そういえば、なんとなく生臭い気がする。
Without thinking, I backed away from where I had been crouching. I tried rationalizing what I saw. How could a whole classroom become a bloodbath like this? Did something spill? Did someone stumble in here injured? No, bro. Okay, I'm sorry, but like, if something spilled, bro, like, there's no way it's covering the whole damn classroom like this, bro.
ありえない。そんな、何よこれ!
My whole body was quaking. I fled from the classroom. Or rather, I tried to flee.
開かない! やだ! やだ! 鍵なんてかかってなかったのに。今だって鍵はかかってないよ。それなのに、どうして?
Silence saturated the inky blackness of the room. I took several deep breaths in an effort to restrain my pounding heart.
とにかく一度落ち着かないと。そもそもドアが開かないのだって私がこんなにパニックになってるせいかもしれないし。さっきの変な塊だってきっと何かの勘違いだよ。だってありえないじゃない。教室にあんなわけのわからないものが落ちてるだなんて。てか歩いてくる。
Then there came the distinctive clomp, clomp, clomp of footsteps.
そうだ、きっと用務員さんだ。
I recalled the existence of a custodian who always patrolled the school grounds. I was sure he must have been taking a look around after that sudden power outage.
助かった。
Nah, bro, that's gonna be the bad guy, bruh. All at once, my fear-addled legs regained their strength. This nightmare would soon be over.
すみません。
I shouted to the custodian through the window, as loudly as I could muster.
すみません。閉じ込められてるんです。
I had to be sure he heard me. I shouted again. Finally, I could see the light out in the hallway again, and it seemed to be getting closer. However,
なんかこの光おかしい気がする。
perturbed, I took a step away from the window.
懐中電灯だったらもっと明るいよね。この光はなんだか。
Like the faint, unearthly glow classically attributed to spirits, was what I was thinking. I tried to stop myself from finishing that thought, however. Dullness aside, it also looked like it was wriggling around in a very unnatural, very unflashlight-like way.
それにこの足音。
4 clomps, then a 3 or so second interval, then another 4 clomps. They were sounding in a fixed
用
rhythm.
務員さんじゃない。明らかに変な歩き方。
The fear was back, in full force. I had to find somewhere to hide. What if I had accidentally summoned something inhumane? I mean, whatever that was, I begged it for help. I literally invited it in.
どこか隠れるところ。そうだ。
Fuck, bro. You know what, bro? Look, they wanted me to hop on this podium like in the last choice, so let's follow through with our choice here. Oh, it's a quick save. Nice. I hurriedly hit myself beneath the teacher's podium. Oh, I forgot to save too. Like, okay, so thank God for the quick save. But like, dude, I went through this once. So like, why didn't I think about it again, bro? I grabbed my knees, curled up, and made myself as small as I could.
なんなの。一体どうなってるの。
The footsteps continued to draw nearer and nearer. Little by little, the sound grew louder. Every hair in my body was standing on end.
このまま通り過ぎてください。お願いします。
I held my breath, clasped my hands together, and silently prayed. They were close now. Very, very close.
神様。
Why was this happening? I couldn't make any sense of it. I just wanted it to be over. I prayed to God that it would end. Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? Was this all happening because I ignored her? Because I didn't take the paper doll from her? Was it because I had heard the ghost story of Yoshie and allowed it to get to me? Or did the strange events of the day have nothing to do with what was happening to me now?
口から心臓が飛び出しちゃいそうだよ。
I was still holding my breath. I didn't dare let even the tiniest of sounds escape and give away my position. Did I fuck up? Did I fuck up? The consistent rhythm of the footsteps suddenly ended halfway into one of its cycles. And it ended right in front of this very classroom. I fucking died. I had goosebumps up and down my arms and legs. I stopped praying and clasped my hands over my mouth. I knew I'd scream if I didn't. Could this be Yoshie? Was the school legend real? All I could do was close my eyes, keep my mouth shut, and hope that whoever and or whatever this was would just go away. But the footstep sounds didn't start again. If this was indeed Yoshi, I'm thinking it's Yoshi, bro. Hopefully I'm pronouncing this right. I don't know why I'm saying Yoshi. Yoshi. Then she'd stop in front of the classroom and was just standing there. I had no concept of time anymore. I stayed in my hiding spot for what was probably only a few minutes, but it felt like at least an hour.
足音が消えた。
Don't peek, bro. Don't peek, bro. Think of this like Rainbow Six, bro. You peek, you're clapped. Yeah, she's done. Yeah, she's done. I decided to carefully peek out from under the podium. I gingerly edged my head out just far enough to get a glimpse of the room. When suddenly, the footsteps rang out once more. It sounded like they were headed right for me, and they might have been inside the room. Honestly, I couldn't tell. I scrambled back into my hiding spot and covered my mouth with both hands. Nah, bro, she's clapped, bro. She's clapped. Oh my god, she's clapped. You see how quick those footsteps are, bro? This was too much for me. My breathing was coarse and erratic, and my face was a mess of tears and snot. Damn.
神様、助けて。
I was inconsolable. The footsteps just wouldn't stop. Bro, yeah, I would lose my shit if I was hearing this too. What on earth were they doing? It almost seemed like they were running around in circles just to scare me. Bro, if this is a wrong end, bro, I'm gonna be so damn pissed, bro. Cause like, man, you ain't gonna drag it out this long, bro. Just give me the ending. Just send me back on my way, bro. I moved my hands to my ears in a vain attempt to block this torturous sound. And as if in response, the sound changed. It was a loud, dull thud, followed by silence. No more footsteps. I had heard that sound hundreds of times before. It was the classroom door sliding open. Yup. I made the wrong choice. What little safety I'd felt here was pretty much gone. But to be fair, I wasn't absolutely certain the spirit had seen or heard me either. The prospect of stepping out into the open wasn't a desirable one, but I had to decide if it was better to stay where I was or to make a break for it. Oh, so I chose the right choice. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit the Y button and I'm gonna hit the save function. Yes, sir. Shit, bro. I missed this part of the fucking scene, bro. Shit, bro. Good move, though. Good move. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stay hidden, bro. We don't know where the fuck this thing is at, bro.
隠れていいよ。きっとやり過ごせるよ。大丈夫。
But it only took a moment for the decision to come back and bite me. Fuck! I got the... Damn it! Okay, so let's make a break for it. Staying in one place would be for too long seemed like it would be inviting trouble. So I took a deep breath and reluctantly crawled out as quietly as I could. But almost immediately, I felt something. Something long and thin had struck me in the back of the head. Or perhaps struck isn't the right word. There was a little force behind it. But it wasn't a hard slam. More like someone trying to get my attention.
木の棒？うん、これは指？
I knew I wouldn't like what I was going to see, but I had to face whatever this was. So, I turned around. And there, looming over me was...
まだ残ってるの？早く帰りなさい。
A figure was peering down at me from above the podium, with one emaciated, wishbone-like finger extended toward my face. I recognized this person instantly, no doubt about it. This was the strange old woman who'd supposedly passed away earlier. I was scared out of my mind. I tumbled the rest of the way out from under the podium and shot to my feet. A ghost! There really was a ghost in this school. My breathing was ragged and my heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Plowing through all the desks in my way, I ran as fast as I could toward the classroom door. But that was as far as I could go.
どうしたの？
There, on the other side of the door, tied up against the glass was the old woman. She was a glowing bluish white, the source of the light from earlier. But how in the world did she get to the door before I did? How did she get out of the room so quickly and position herself so perfectly to block my exit? I felt like I was starting to hyperventilate and tried as best as I could to calm my breathing as my eyes darted out as my eyes darted about the room. I needed to get out of here now, to get as far away from this place as I possibly could.
前のドアから出られないとなると、外に出るには後ろのドアから出るしか。でもそうすると、廊下は前のドアにいるあの幽霊の後ろを通らないと出口にはつかない。そんなの無理。でも
I bit my lip and continued scanning the room.
何かあれに対抗できるようなものがあればいいんだけど。
I didn't have time to think carefully about it. I just had to grab something and hope for the best. There were two choices, and I had to pick one on impulse before it was too late. Oh my god! Save. I'm saving. Yup, you already know we do this. Oh my god, I got 3 seconds left! Broom! A broom from the cleaning supply locker. That might work. Maybe I could fend her off with it. It was a long shot, but it was better than just standing around and getting caught.
どうしよう、どうしよう。
When I looked over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the doorframe. She really was trying to catch me. I wasn't just being paranoid. She was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced this had to be Yoshi, the teacher from that urban legend. I couldn't waste any more time. I darted out through the back door of the classroom and into the safe end of the hall. I was running at top speed, hoping to escape behind the spirit's back. Unsurprisingly, trying to outrun a ghost proved to be a fruitless endeavor. The spirit saw me and moved at breakneck speed to intercept. Was this the bad move? I impulsively thrust the broom out and stabbed her in the eye with it. Take that, I thought. But my moment of bravado was short-lived. The broom immediately shattered into a million pieces and my... Oh man, did I just kill her? Okay, so let's choose the bag of salt. I thrust my hand into my pocket and withdrew the bag of salt. Then threw the entire thing directly at the old woman's face. Bro, if you don't jump out the window... I ran down the hall as fast as my legs would carry me, briefly glancing over my shoulder after a moment to confirm that the spirit was still writhing. I just kept running down that dark hallway with nothing but adrenaline and mortal fuel to keep me going. I reached the stairwell at the end of the hall and made a mad dash toward the ground level. I was determined to get out of this fucking building alive. Finally, still moving at top speed, I reached the window door leading outside. Luckily, the malevolent spirit hadn't caught up to me yet. It actually seemed like I might be able to escape. I might actually survive this. Bro, she's gonna dink the fuck out of her stupid ass on that door, watch. Don't stop now, bitch, keep going! I grabbed the handle and tried pulling it. Yup. Just as predicted. I already know the choice is about to hit me, bro. You already know we gotta save. and then we make that choice. There it is. Break the glass, bro, break the glass! Putting my thoughts in order, I came to a sudden realization that I was right near the umbrella racks. Unless the spirit had taken it or something, my umbrella should still have been right where I'd left it. I practically tackled the rack, grabbing my umbrella with one swift motion. Not from the handle, mind you, but from the top. Then, taking aim at the glass part of the door, I swung as hard as I could, smacking it dead center with a sturdy plastic handle. Okay, so I made the wrong choice. I already knew it. Hearing that dink was enough for me, bro. The glass wasn't going to break so easily, of course, but it did crack. Oh, giving me the impetus I needed to go in for a second hit. Finally, after far too much effort, the glass shattered onto the floor, making one hell of a sound. Tepid air whooshed in from the outside. It was still pouring rain, but I was free now. Free to escape this hellhole, right? The pane I'd broken was on the lower half of the door. I didn't care if I cut myself. I got down on my hands and knees and crawled like mad. I already know what's about to happen, bro. It's not even a good ending. She's gonna get her fucking leg yoinked back in, bro. I felt triumphant. For a brief moment, the fear was gone and I was basking in my victory over this malevolent entity. But it didn't last long before I was even halfway through the door, I felt something coiling itself around my arm. Fuck! Oh, whoa. What is that? Whoa, I was skipping through because I thought it was a dead end. Wait, that's spooky as hell. A tall, shadowy figure had appeared behind me in the entranceway, and she had me in her grasp. There wasn't much more because, like, dude, every time I've gone the wrong ending, bro, they've just gone straight to a red screen and then wrong end. So I was kind of skipping straight to it, but okay, hold on. Her scraggly, root-like fingers were squeezing my arm with tremendous force, pushing aside muscle and tissue and pressing right on the bone. I was shaking hysterically and the tears were streaming down my face. I was absolutely convinced I was going to die here. Let go of me. Sachi. I could offer no resistance. She was too strong and all I could do was plead with her. I felt like my arm would snap in two at any moment. She wasn't just grabbing, but twisting it as well. The pain was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. I couldn't think about anything else. My mind was absorbed by the unconscionable agony.
Stop!
Oh. I thought my arm was about to snap off, and then, all of a sudden, I was whisked away. Whisked away by Tsukasa.
大丈夫か?
Oh, I chose the right one! Oh!
今、しのごの言ってる場合じゃない。逃げるぞ!
Tsukasa was still holding onto me tightly after saving me from the brink of death. He led me back into the school at an incredible speed.
ちくしょう、なんだよさっきのは。俺は夢でも見てるのか?
Wait, did I do the wrong thing? And like homeboy like legit saved me? Or like do you think the other option was like the right choice and this would have never happened? Or do you think I would have met with him inevitably, right? Right? Oh, dude. I don't know what to think, bro. Because like I've just been on a fucking L streak, bro. I've been choosing the wrong damn choices every time. He practically spit those words as he continued running. I tried to match his gait, and once we were a bit more in sync, I looked up at his face. After we'd reached the end of the hall, he suddenly veered into the last classroom before the stairwell, pulling me in with him.
シシド、お前怪我はないか?
大丈夫。私はもう一人で歩けるから。
心配すんな。もし仮にあいつが来ても、俺が絶対お前を守ってやるから。
司くん。
Oh, my fault. I cut him off. Tsukasa's gentle reassurance actually made me forget the pain in my arm for a moment. I had to stop myself from blushing. Or try to, at any rate. Girl, this ain't the time to be feeling like that.
一刻も早く手当てした方がいいって。 まあどうせ先生なんかいないだろうけど。
Oh damn, I keep on cutting him off, bro. I'm so sorry, Tsukasa.
よし行くぞ。
Tsukasa offered me his hand, and I graciously took it, squeezing it tightly as he led me back out into the hallway.
司くんの手あったかい。
I gently squeezed his hand again, as if to reassure myself that he was still with me. I was starting to think maybe Yoshi was gone. Maybe we thwarted her, but of course, just as I was thinking that, she made her presence known again. Bro, I can do that shit too, bitch. You ain't special.
なんだってんだ。出てこい。
An unearthly voice reverberated through the dark corridor. I immediately drew myself into Tsukasa's back.
もっと連れてこい。
Ew, you need some lubriderm, bro? I know that skin about to fucking fall apart, bruh. Over Tsukasa's shoulder, I saw the same shadow-like spirit from before. He must have been waiting here to ambush us.
大丈夫。落ち着け。
The ghost was moaning and wavering before us. We'd never been able to get past it.
私のために何でもしてくれる。
おい獅子堂。俺があいつを引きつけるから、その隙に走って逃げろ。
やだよ、一緒に逃げて。
俺には秘密兵器があるのさ。
Bro, he does not have shit, bro. Watch him have that milk fucking coffee, bro.
俺のばあさんからもらった形見のお守り。さっきあいつにこれを向けたら少し割りやがった。
It's like he whips out the vacuum from Luigi's mansion, bro. I forgot what it was called, bro. It was like the Edgast something or whatever it was called, bro.
形見のお守り？でも、司くんやっぱり危険。
俺？まあ、なんとかなるだろう。
Bro, do y'all really have the time to be talking like this right now, bro?
そんな。
待ちなさい。
We really didn't have time to be arguing. It was closing in fast. And as it did, I noticed the spirit's figure had become more defined. She was a tall, young woman, with her head turned sideways at a 90-degree angle. Damn! The tale of Yoshi suggests she fell down a flight of stairs, so a broken neck would certainly fit.
早く走れ！
He gave my back a shove to get me started, and with no time to object, I unconsciously obliged. Tsukasa ran too, darting ahead of me for a few short moments.
おい、化け物！こっちだ！
待ちなさい。
Tsukasa ran as close as he possibly could to get Yoshi's attention, then turned tail and began sprinting off in the opposite direction.
こっちだぞ！
Oh shit! He hit him with that juke, bruh. Amazingly, it worked. The spirit began chasing Tsukasa, leaving me completely unobstructed.
どうしよう。私、このまま一人逃げてもいいの？
I was torn. On the one hand, I knew this was my best chance, but I couldn't help worrying about what would happen to Tsukasa if his charm failed. I stopped for a moment and glanced over my shoulder. He was still running, and the shadowy figure was still in hot pursuit.
いいから行けって！お前が逃げ切ったのを確認したら俺も逃げるからさ！
I have a feeling Homeboy's lying, bruh. I still can't believe I fell for it, but this was right about when I realized the truth. Tsukasa had no protective charm. He just... Oh, dude. Oh, no, Tsukasa, no! He just made that up so I wouldn't object too strongly to him serving as a decoy while I got away.
やっぱりダメ。
Oh, am I gonna get the choice? I stopped in my tracks and shouted at the top of my lungs.
待ちなさい。ヨシエ先生。
I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting myself into, but I had to do something. And calling the spirit's name definitely seemed to have an
あな
effect.
たの名前知ってるわよ。
おい、獅子頭！
all at once, the black figure was facing me, though I never saw her turn around. She was flying toward me now, ignoring Tsukasa, bro. Bro, that sounds like a tongue twister, bro. Like, try saying that shit fast 5 times, bro. I repeated this like a mantra and stuck one hand into my pocket, grasping tightly onto the one and only item I'd stashed there. Yeah, bitch, I know your weak point, bro. You got a broken ass neck, bro. I just gotta fucking make sure I right hook you, bro. Wait, which way is her neck bent? What do you have? Oh, the lucky pencil, bruh. Tsukasa's care, his effort, his beliefs, they were all packed into this pencil. But bro, I swear, this pencil actually saves them. And when you get right down to it, that's what a charm is, right? I squeezed the nubby little thing in my pocket, mentally preparing myself for the confrontation ahead. The confrontation I'd impulsively initiated. It's like the pencil turns into a sword and she starts fencing with it. I closed my eyes, lifted my hand from my pocket, and brandished Tsukasa's pencil intently. The gauntlet had been thrown. I was putting a lot of faith into this, and I really, really hoped I hadn't made a mistake in doing so. I hope not either, bro. Okay, so that's what you choose to yell, bro? Like, that's like your superpower line, bro? I opened my eyes to find that the shadowy spirit, Yoshi, had stopped dead in her tracks. Did it work? Was Tsukasa's pencil keeping this vengeful soul at bay? No, bitch! She's just like... You see what I mean, bro? But she exposed her weakness, so now you need to freaking come in on the left side, just hook her ass in that bent spot, bro? That's critical damage, bro. That's a crit spot. Suddenly, I was whisked off my feet and slammed against the ceiling. Damn! I could see him down below. He was staring up at me and desperately leaping. I could just imagine. Okay, no. He was trying to catch me, I suppose, even though he knew he'd never reach. I called out to him over and over again in my mind. If he could get away, if he could survive this ordeal, then it would all have been worth it. Yoshi was drawing near, and I was helplessly pinned to the ceiling. I had no chance at all. There was no doubt in my mind that my life was over. I clung to the relief I felt at Tsukasa's safety. It was the only thing keeping me from losing my head entirely. Then, all at once, the situation took a complete 180. It was like a miracle. Before I had any idea what was happening, I found myself bathed in a gentle light. Damn, Yoshi has got some big old knockers, bro. Damn. You know what, bro? Shit, bro. I wouldn't mind getting choked on the wall like that shit, bro. Damn. That woman said my job isn't done. She said you're gonna believe me no matter what. It was the old woman who had collapsed in front of my house. She was standing down below me, enveloped in a warm glow. The black shadow lunged toward her. Then there was a horrific noise, and the old woman was gone. Just like that, I fell to the ground. Whatever Yoshi had done to me, the old woman must have nullified it. That must have been why she came to me this morning, and why she had come again now. I felt like I was going to faint. Tsukasa ran to my side and gently scooted me off the ground into his arms. Okay, bro, I need a hero, stupid. Yoshi's spirit was gone. She'd vanished along with the light. Around us now, the only sound was the pitter-patter of raindrops on the school roof. I'd suffered quite a bump on the head from my fall and was decidedly disoriented. But I still had enough sense to put my arms around Tsukasa's
バ
neck.
カ逃げろって言ったのに
She saw right through you, bro.
でも
I wanted to protect you. I couldn't bear the thought of losing you, is what I wanted to say. But instead, I just passed out in his arms, bro. Damn. And dude, you know what, bro? That's a lot of shit to go through, bro. But my question is, what the fuck was he doing there, bro? I felt as though I was waking from a long, horrible dream.
おい大丈夫か
I don't need this close-up of the dude, bro. Damn.
おいシシド
ここどこ？
Why does he look like Miss Yui low-key, bro? It's like, wait a second.
本当に大丈夫か見ればわかるだろ学校の保健室だって
保健室。
It occurred to me to look at my surroundings. Probably something I should have done before asking about them. But in my defense, I was out cold. Beige walls, pink curtains, white beds with solid blue covers. This was indeed the school infirmary, no doubt about it.
どうして？
どうしてもこうしてもお前があんなところで倒れてたからここに連れてきてやったんじゃん
あんなところ？
Huh?
おいおいまだ具合悪いんじゃないのか肛門だよ肛門
Oh, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to gaslight her into thinking this shit never happened. I mean, I see where he's coming from, but I don't know. I would have kept it 100, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
肛門に？私そこに倒れてったの？司くん、
うんまあとりあえず詳しい話は後で聞くからさちょっと待ってな
あ、司くん言っちゃった。よしえさんのこと聞こうと思ったの。
Oh, it is pronounced Yoshie.
あら、シシドさん、目が覚めたのね。
先
驚いたわよ。三国くんが血相変えて私を呼びに来るんだもの。私が当直でよかったわね。
Bro, wait, lucky for you I was working late night tonight. Why the fuck would a nurse be working late night, bruh? Can I get a glimpse of her, bro? You already know, like, school nurses be bad as
生
hell.
ご迷惑をおかけしてすみません。
それはいいのよ。でも、あなたずいぶんうなされていたから、悪い夢でも見てたんじゃない？
Wait a second, let me take that back because like IRL, bro, school nurses about ugly as shit, bro. They about the ugliest nurses you've ever seen in your life, bro. And I mean this respectfully, bro. I ain't never had an attractive fucking school nurse, bro. But man, but in stories, bro, and all folk tales, folklore, stories, and anything else, bro, or in any other fucking dimension, bro, they're all fine as hell, bro.
悪い夢？
そうよ。三国くんもすごく心配してたわよ。
そうだ。やっぱりきっと悪い夢なんだ。昼間に怖い話とか聞いちゃったし。
ともかく、もう大丈夫？
はい。
そう、よかったわ。
The nurse smiled cheerfully and disappeared behind the partitioning curtain. Letting out a sigh, I laid myself down on the bed once more. It was dead silent. The rain must have let up. The only sound I heard was an occasional cough from the nurse, who was otherwise going about her business quietly.
そういえばペンケース。
I thrust my hands into my pockets, not really expecting to find it, but
ちゃんとある。
the pen case, complete with Tsukasa's pencil talisman inside, was present and accounted for. Which meant that
私やっぱり教室には行ったんだ。やっぱり夢じゃない。
ah shit.
おーい
あ、司くんおかえり。
I was still trying to remember exact details about what happened when I unexpectedly felt something cold pressed against my cheek.
これって。
お前うなされてただろ 汗もかいてたし、喉乾いたんじゃないかなと思ってさ。
ありがとう。
よし。なあ、シシド、起きれるか？ちょうどいいから、お前にいいもの見せてやるよ。
He's like, I'm gonna show you how to do a backflip.
いいもの？
おう、そうだな。むしろ、お前には見てほしいんだ。
Oh, he about to show him like that secret spot that he was talking about.
うん。
Bro, I can already see into the future, bro. The reason why this shit's gonna smack like ice cream on a hot summer day, bro, is because, dude, it's 5 a.m. Sun's about to come up type shit, bro. They're gonna have this rooftop view, and it's gonna be like the most beautiful thing ever, bro. Watch, bro. I put $10 on it. My nose was still running, but my heart felt a lot lighter. I no longer felt threatened by this school. I was comfortable and safe. The two of us left the nurse's office with Tsukasa in the lead, and even though I was holding a cold coffee in my hand, I still felt warm all over. Neither of us said a thing as he led me through the empty halls. It occurred to me that when we last saw one another, I was mad at
ほ
him.
ら、シシド、着いたぞ。
I followed Tsukasa's pointing finger and...
朝日。すごい。すごい。
Y'all owe me $10! No, I'm kidding, bro. Cause like, I thought it'd be the roof, but it looks like it's just I guess like the hallways outside or some shit, bro.
ここでよく夕日を眺めてるんだけどさ、朝日もいいもんだな。
綺麗だよ。街がオレンジに染まっていく。
But you gotta hand it to homeboy, bro. That's a smooth ass move from his part.
お、元気出てきたな。
ここって司くんの言ってた例の場所だよね。
おう、うん。
今まで絶対に教えてくれなかったのに、どうして今日は教えてくれるの？
Because like obviously you you kind of went through some shit, bro.
別になんとなく。
Well, he's gonna say that, but
なんとなくって。
I could think of a reason, but I didn't want to say anything. It just seemed kind of far-fetched to me. And if I were misinterpreting him, I'd be very embarrassed. He couldn't possibly, could he? My face felt kind of warm. I placed a sweaty cafe au lait can on my cheek and sighed
ど
softly.
うした？顔赤いぞ。
そう
まだ具合悪いんじゃないのか？
そんなことないよ。ほら、朝日が赤いせい。
ああ、なるほどな。
Yeah, bitch, you feeling it, bro. Just say it, dude. It's okay. Boys can be so dense sometimes.
試験頑張れよ。今からすぐ戻って準備すりゃ間に合うだろ。
I'm not gonna lie, bro. As much as the situation calls for like a fat romantic gesture, bro, I think this is enough. I don't think in a situation like now would be the right time to confess. You know what I mean? Cause like, bro, they just went through an insane amount of trauma, bro. And you're telling me post-trauma, like I'm gonna tell this girl like, oh, I have like insane feelings for you or some shit, where I'm trying to lay pipe, bro. Like, no, dude, I'm gonna look. First, I'm gonna make sure she's okay. Then I'm gonna set it up to where I can bring up my feelings for her, bro. Like, cause like now I know it for sure. You know what I mean? Now I see a little bit in her, like I see a little bit of feelings for me in her. I can kind of like establish for myself that I am feeling this girl. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you gotta think, bro. You gotta think. These are plays, bro.
司くんのそれ好き。
え？
それと、あと、ごめんね。
なんで謝るんだよ。
いや、昨日、ほら、なんかちょっと気まずくなっちゃったし、七不思議の話して。
ああ、そんなこともあったっけ？
そんなこともって、私は結構気にしてたんだけどな。
Bruh.
女子はほんと細かいこと気にするよな。 俺は全然何とも思ってなかったのに。
そっか。
やっと起きた。
あら？え？持田くん？
そうだよ、持田聡だよ。
と
I was still dazed. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was that one of my students, Satoshi Mochida, was here, and he looked concerned.
ゆい先生、いい加減手を。
あら！
I finally realized what he was talking about. I was holding Mochida's hand in my own and squeezing it awfully tightly.
やだ！ごめんなさい！私ったら…
Oh shit, she still got the bruise on her arm though.
いいけどさ、ゆい先生、結構握力強いんだな。
あら、そうこれでも昔はか弱く儚い美少女として巷に名を馳せたものだけど、どうして持田くんがうちにいるの？
You gonna check up on you.
それさっき話したじゃん。
え？
はあ、その調子じゃ何も覚えてないんでしょう。
何も？
さっき俺の作ったおかゆ食って薬飲んでまた寝たじゃないか。その時話したのに。本当に綺麗さっぱり覚えてない？
全然。
やばい、そろそろ帰らないと。ゆかがカンカンだ。
今日はありがとね。もう暗いから気をつけて帰るのよ。
はーい。それじゃあ先生、食事をきちんととって頑張って早く治してくれよ。
うん、頑張る。
ファイト。
ありがとう。いい子だな、持田くんは。いかんいかん、あの子は生徒だぞ。
Why they gotta say that?
おいで、モネちゃん。一緒に寝よっか。
Okay, fine. Meow. It's like she looks at Monet, bro. It's not even the cat anymore. It's me dressed in the fucking cat suit, bro.
会いたいな、司くん。
I wonder what happened to homeboy. Because we never knew what the fuck happened to him. We just knew that like homeboy like was like, yo, what went down? Okay, but we completed another chapter, bros. Fever dreams, oh shit. But that is it for today, guys. We went through a fucking lot. We got to see Mochida and Miss Yui interact. We got a lot of backstory on Miss Yui. I think that might be it. I'm not gonna lie, bro. We did get a glimpse to see like an original interaction between what the heavenly host fucking superstitions were, you know what I mean? We got to see what it was early then, well, I guess 5 years prior to when it actually happened, so it was pretty interesting. But yeah, either way, whenever y'all see me again, we'll be back. Oh well, I'll have a different video for the next day, but whenever we'll be back on this one, we'll continue on to chapter 4. With that being said, I'll be catching you guys on the flip side.